Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. So somebody asked me like, oh, so what do you identify as now? If you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. But are actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites, and they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The Israelites have been bamboozled, have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand the Hebrew Israelites consistently are shooting themselves in the foot.
All right, first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. To you ribs and to you sisters out there learning in silence. And staying in order, I say to you all, Shalom. All right, so you know what? Let's bring it back.
And choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The Israelites have been.
He said that the Hebrew Israelites have been bamboozled. By who? By who? What do you mean by that? You saying that the Israelites have been lied to, and all of a sudden you have all the answers and you have all the understanding above all the other Israelites to a point where you want to separate yourself from this, so-called community? I don't understand, man. He always wants to be, the head of his class. He wants to be a trendsetter, like controversial. This whole thing about separating yourself from the community. There's nothing wrong with that, because the Hebrew Israelite community as we know it, like even GMS, man, we, and like-minded brothers, we don't associate with other camps, right? But we associate with each other. You know what I mean? This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai power said, it is not good that the man should be alone, right? This is the reason why he created Eve, right? Because, it's not good for a man to be alone. You know what I'm saying? The demons attack you, right? It's good to have brothers around you who are like-minded, who could, let you know when you go out, because you're not always going to get it all together, man. You need the brotherhood, man. Like, not this Hebrew Israelite community, right? But people who's going to keep you in line and, make sure that, you're doing the right thing, man. Because we flesh at the end of the day, man. Now he's hanging out with a whole bunch of podcasters and, people who are not considered in the truth, right? The Lord has removed the oil from this man, and it's evident that he don't got along. It's only a matter of time before he goes all out, right? He's gonna turn into what it seems like. He's eventually gonna turn into a vocab. It's gonna stir a lot of issues, man. This is 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. For as the body is one, it has many members, right? That's the point. Right? Especially you consider yourself a teacher, right? That's the office in which you were placed. Right? You have members, people who you surround yourself around that are like-minded, that move accordingly for the mission, which is to edify and feed the flock. Right? For as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach Yahushai. Right? It's not just you. It's not just you doing your thing, and you know what I mean. You making it about yourself, man. And this is what happens, man. That ignorance and pride, because you think you got it all, right? You think you got it all set. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 2. And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know. Right? This guy thinks he's got it all figured out, man. And the reason is because the so-called community that you're trying to push yourself away from just, shunned you, man. You got outcasted. You lost all respect from your community, even your own camp. People were leaving left and right, and it hurt your pride, man. It hurt your pride, man, and we seen this coming. This is not a shock that you said this. We expected this, right? We seen this coming. It's only a matter of fact where he turns his back on the so-called community, and then becomes an enemy to the community. That has not happened yet, right? But the way I look at it, speaking as a man, he's going to be a Volcam Malone type, an adversary to the so-called community in which you were a part of.
As the ancient Israelites, and they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow.
So you're not even you're not in no position to speak, man. You sat there for years and pimped out your rib to Esau. And the only time you repented was when you were publicly shamed. Right? Your rib that you pushed out to Esau is now pregnant by Esau. Right? And it's dealing with Esau, and I bet you're loving it, man. Because you a CUCK hold. You love that happened to you, man. You get excited over that stuff, man. You never repented. You never changed, man. You said it yourself, about, the way you talk, which he's probably gonna get into in this video at some point. The way he talks changed. He's thinking like he's a street cat now, and he said that he always talked like that when the camera was off. It just shows, man. Like I was watching the Elder Manat Zagba, speak on it. And he hit it. He hit the nail on the head, man. He said that you never changed, man. You was always a nigga in the truth and a nigga outside. You know what I mean? Like you basically just shot yourself in the foot, man. And I got a feeling that this guy is not the type of person that would just vanish off into the sunset, man. His last straw is to just start debating Hebrew Israelites on doctrine, because he's that type of guy.
Israelites have been bamboozled, have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozled themselves. I just want people to understand that Hebrew Israelites consistently are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously.
And who's the nobody? Who's the nobody that's taking us seriously like we care about the world, man? This guy cares too much, man. He cares about what people think about him. He cares about what the world looks at him like. He cares about his views, his appearance, and this is why he went against the Hebrew Israelite community, because they're the ones who held him accountable. And now that they did that, he's turning their back on him. This man cannot be corrected. I know. Brother's been saying that for years, man. Every time they make a correction video, this man does not take the correction. This is Proverbs 15, verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way. That's what he did. Right? He got corrected, and he want to turn his back. Right? The scriptures say that hold fast to that which you have learned, right? Paraphrasing. Right? He done changed the doctrine 100 times. He he started omitting books out of the Bible. Right, he's been getting rebuked for years, and this man will not budge. It says correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Right, this I don't know, man. The way it's looking, I don't see this man, believing in the Bible in another 6-7 months. He's gonna let his flesh rule over him, and you can't tell him nothing. Either that, or he becomes a Hebrew Christian, the very thing that he hates.
That my big brother, the incomparable Andre Taylor, taught us. When you turn something into a movement stop. Look at every movement that's ever happened. Look at it. This movement, that movement. It moves, then it stopped moving. Right? Appreciate the sub, Ron Meyer. Salute to you, brother.
When does the scripture say that this is a movement and that we are gonna all move in one direction, right? This is
So I don't want to be associated with movements, right? I want to be associated with the wisdom of the Most High, because wisdom is more moving than any motion, right? So a lot of this movement of the Hebrew Israelites is based upon knowledge, and the scriptures teach us what that knowledge puffeth up. So it's just a bunch of people who's puffed up, who know a lot of stuff, but are not operating in the wisdom and understanding of the Most High.
That's crazy, man, coming out of his mouth. Is this before or after you pimp your wife, man? You know what? I'm not gonna keep going with this guy, man. You guys already know. Stay away from this man. Stay away from this man and men like him. That's all I gotta say. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to all for elect preaching his word in truth, sincerity, to you ribs, and to you sisters out there learning silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom.